Starting up this sort of nomadic lifestyle is not for the faint of heart. To be honest, embarking on a project like this with the van and the filming and traveling, it's a lot to digest. Like, there are so many things we can be doing right now, and we could have been doing the past 2 months since we left the US, but we've been just spending so much time in preparation, and we didn't account for this. I didn't account for this. It is really exciting to be sort of building up to something, but when just one responsibility leads to another, one project leads to the next, it can seem never-ending, and it just consumes all of your time, and all of your mental energy and all of your physical energy goes into this kind of setup. And we found this van that seemed like a good deal, and it ended up being such a project.
I've always been obsessed with film.
Wow, if only I had chosen to go the journalist route. Can we jump up and down now?
Yeah.
What creatures exist in the mangrove? Move, 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 move!
This is a good idea!
What is going on? We've got a lot of work to do.
Let's do it.
Trying to design and build a space and be clever with the very limited amount of room that we have in here has been a very creative challenge, I would call it.
I think one of the most frustrating things is when you're doing a project like this is you spend all day thinking and planning and I guess dreaming in a sense of, you know, what the rest of your day is going to look like and how much you can get done, but it's just the small things here that make the difference and set you back in the amount of time you can actually spend converting it. We basically like spend our mornings deciding what we're going to do, going to the store, getting the stuff, and then coming back and doing it. And more than often we're not starting that until like 3 or 4 because we need to have lunch in between, and then we have to keep emptying the van because unfortunately we can't store the stuff in the van in the house. So every time we work we've got to take it out, put it back in, take it out, put it back in. So like having a plan when you do this thing would be a very good idea, maybe like a very strict plan.
We've been kind of scrambling all over town trying to find all the tools we need to just do the things we need to do, like drill and a hammer and a saw and all these things, and that's been the main objective of this first phase of the build. And that's been really hard because we don't speak the language well. And we're trying to find all of these materials. And the thing in Mexico, or at least this part of Mexico, is that there's no one-stop shop for everything. You have to walk, you know, from store to store, and you know, ask people, and you know, Google Maps isn't the most reliable in this area. So we've been kind of flying by the seat of our pants when it comes to finding the things that we need. Even the materials, it's been a bit tricky, and there are a lot of limitations, limited options.
You know, we've managed to unscrew the roof, take the roof down. We put one coat of paint on the walls. This white wall behind me, you can probably see that it shines. And that's because we painted gloss in a tiny space, which is an oil-based paint, which means it absolutely reeks in here. So we've got to rectify that. And just trying to find, for example, matte paint was really difficult. It's just really frustrating when there's just stuff you want to do but you can't get done because you can't find parts. Also, like, we took out the old bed that we wanted to use as a workbench, and I've just gone back behind and someone's nicked it. So now we haven't got like a workbench to do all the sawing on, which is really frustrating.
There have been multiple times where Harrie or I have just stopped and said out loud, like, what are we doing?
Like, we're under this tree, which is slowly filling up all the kind of air intake bits in the front of the body.
Why? Like, why do we get ourselves into this?
More tree debris.
What more is going to come? What more is going to stand in our way of just being free?
Ah, why did someone steal that bench? That does suck.
I'm just excited to be on the road and, you know, having this kind of glamorous nomadic lifestyle. But right now it doesn't feel like we're free. We're very much held captive by this project.
I don't know why we decided to get, look. Like a toy.
But we just have to keep pushing forward. Not only because we've gotten so deep and so far into this process that it feels like there's no turning back, but also we want this so bad. We want to live our lives on the road. We want to be minimal. We want to be mobile. We want to film and do great documentaries and travel adventures. We want that, and this is what it takes to get to that.
My whole body is aching. I think where we're doing so many squats and like creeping into corners to put bolts in and like sawing and sanding and stuff. I didn't think it would be this physically demanding, but it really is.
So last night, Harrie got sick with heat stroke, and our house lady, Graciela, bless her heart, told Harrie to take it easy today. Does it look like he's taking it easy? No, he is not.
Luckily yesterday we managed to have all the wood cut at the lumber supply store itself, so that was so super handy. And they've even done all the work surfaces, so that's really great. It means because we've only got a tiny handsaw, so for us to try and do that.
The van build has officially infiltrated my dreams, because now I'm waking up every day thinking about carpentry.
We've just got all these little things running side by side that require a lot of brain power, and we're learning Spanish at the same time, and we're trying to keep fit, and it's just a lot.
There are times when Harrie and I have conflicting viewpoints or opinions on what should go where and how we should build things, what it should look like. And I think that has also been a challenge to overcome.
Babe, can you help me, please?
I think so far we've been able to kind of work through any disagreements that we've had, but there are some things that we're having to compromise and we're having to talk through, and that's part of the reality of building a space for two people with different ways of living, and like people who take up different amounts of space. Like, for example, Harrie's a bit taller than me, so we need to lower the bed, for example.
The thing is, it's not very tall. You know, this is not very high, and I'm very tall. And I couldn't seem to find 1 centimeter lumber for the bed. So then I was gonna make slats. To put on top, but then that's gonna thicken the bed even more, which then I'm gonna have less space above. So I'm gonna have to try and find a different way of completing this bed. But yeah, but look. Oh, I was just about to say, look how sturdy it is. It's not that sturdy.
I feel frustrated sometimes that I just want to get this done. I don't want to be thinking about it all the time. I just want it to be over with, and I just want to move on, and I want to start this adventure. But I'm starting to realize that this is part of the adventure.
Breakfast, eggs, croissant, and then we continue on. Power! Power! Thank you.
This is my favorite part. Painting. It is a bit messy though. I'm trying to think of this project as part of a bigger picture experience where we will be taking a lot out of this, and it is adding so much value and fun to our days and our lives. That's why they've gone so quickly. So to be honest, I think what I need to do better is just reframe my mind towards optimism. The roof is a little bit rusty, so Harry's cleaning that up. I feel I've been really down lately, and that's been dragging Harry down, and I don't want that to be the case. So in the end, I think this is actually really helpful for us to be working on this project at the beginning of our big adventure, because I think this is preparing us for what's ahead and all of the issues that we're going to encounter. And also it's preparing us for just a life of flexibility and compromise. And so far, I think we've been pretty resourceful, and I'm actually really proud of us for kind of problem solving.
We love where we're living. The lady is like our mum. She's an absolute gem. Like, she's so cool. It's been quite good in terms of like, I don't know, relearning stuff. And that's one of the things I hoped would happen with this project, was to, learn how the vehicle works, learn how to do all this stuff and to do this all on our own. Like, we could get someone else to do this, but the joy is doing it yourself.
And I think we're going to be really proud of what we've created and the life that we've built.
Buen viaje.
Gracias por todo, sí.
Igualmente, que estés muy bien.
Muchas
Cuídense
gracias.
mucho.
Aww, muchas gracias. Oh,
Oh.
sí.
Mi corazón se va con ustedes. Tengan buen
Nuestro
viaje.
también.
También.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
Now it's the moment of truth. To see if everything actually stays together and doesn't fall off the shelves. Baby! Baby!
Oh.
He's happy! This is our first van life night. This is the perfect place to cheers our first night.
Literally the perfect place. They say that you should never have goals in life, because at the moment you achieve one, the next one begins, and you'll never be satisfied. But we're okay with that. Converting our van was a means to an end goal. We now have a moving home to take us to places unknown, to places not labelled on maps, where we can share unfamiliar stories, lives you may not know exist, but that have generational wisdom you can apply on your own. So welcome to Life Done Different, and our Around the World in 80-Day series. We can't wait to bring you along with us. Carly's just finished with her Olympia, and now it's time for me to go into the devil's dungeon. I mean, they brought a snake out of her. What the hell are they gonna bring out for me?